This is the unboxing of Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, and this could beat any phone. Easy. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Welcome back to Gadget Rev Now. I mean, it's super ridiculous how mid-range phones today are acting like flagship phones, but not as pricey as the more premium devices. I feel like flagship phones today are just being marketed as bragging rights more than its functionality and feature. That periscope or zoom lens, right? All mid-range phones can take over any scenarios with just a few hiccups. I feel like this year will be a great year for mid-range phones. Especially if the flagship phones won't be able to deliver significant changes from last year, then the mid-range phones are probably closing the gap. Xiaomi sent us the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G and the regular Note 13 Pro, but as always, this will be an independent review of Gadget Rev Now. We will do a quick unboxing, talk about the highlights, and do a full review. Let's go to work. First, we will do the unboxing, but if you'd like to jump to the other parts of the video, like the full review, I will leave the timestamp on the description below. Alright, let's do the unboxing of Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, and I will also unbox and review the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro on my next video. So opening the package, we have a small box that contains the SIM ejector tool at the back. Opening it, you have the safety information, quick starter guide, and warranty card. We have a typical paperwork for the Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. We also have a gray colored TPU case, almost black. It has a big rectangular cutout on top. The camera module is not that big, but I think there's a tile-like design on the top of the phone, so this kind of shows it off. And although the TPU case is super thin, you would see that there's a raised bump on the camera module and in front of the screen. So if you put the phone face down or face up, this case protects the surface of the phone. Next, we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, and we have all the specs written in front of the plastic cover. Later, we will discuss each of them, but for now, let's check what else is inside the box. Wow, we also have a 120 watts fast charger, and just for over $300 US, it's pretty impressive with everything this phone offers. Like with all the great features, that Xiaomi was still able to pack a 120 watts fast charger. And lastly, we have a USB-C charging cable, USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other end, so you can connect this on your laptop or older chargers with USB-A output. And I think that's it for the unboxing. Now let's talk about all the new features and highlights of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Let's talk about the highlights of this phone, and starting with the design and build quality. This looks really stunning, like a typical flagship phone. The camera modules are on the bigger side, and there's a tile design for the camera module, the flash, and the Redmi logo. I noticed that there's already a pre-installed screen protector on the front of the screen, so that's nice. At the bottom, you have the speaker, charging port, microphone, and SIM tray. On the other side, you don't have anything. On top, you have another speaker. I think you have a couple of microphones and the IR blaster. And on the other side, you have the volume button and the power button. Let's snap the case really quick, and like what I mentioned earlier, I think this is the perfect case for this phone because there's a raised bump on every side and the camera module that protects the surface from being scratched. Alright, let's open this phone and talk about all the new things and great things about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. There are a lot of good changes and updates on this phone from the previous Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. First is the fingerprint sensor. It's now located underneath the front screen. Last generation, it was a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. This phone is also running on the newest MIUI 14 based on Android 13. The first highlight of this phone is the 200 megapixel camera with OIS. I mean, the resolution is not everything on a smartphone, but for those spec junkie, this phone has the biggest resolution sensor on any smartphones. I'd say the same resolution as what you would get on the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. There's so many things we need to unpack on the camera, and we will talk all about this in a bit. The second highlight is the awesome 1.5K screen with 120Hz AMOLED curved display, and this feature is a lot of times reserved on a flagship phone, but now this is being offered on a mid-range top-of-the-line Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus. The curved display also have these ultra-thin bezels that Xiaomi is advertising, so if you love to watch content or videos on a bigger screen, the 6.67-inch AMOLED screen will deliver immersive viewing experience because of the ultra-clear curved bezels. Another highlight of this phone is the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra chipset. This 4nm processor is a flagship class processor from MediaTek. This is very good for multitasking and gaming, which also maximizes the battery life. Some of its core features are the Hyper Engine 5.0 for gaming optimization, an in-chip AI processing that unlocks the potential of AI features on a smartphone, fast and efficient dual 5G SIM capability, and reliable Wi-Fi connectivity. Looking quickly on the benchmark test using Geekbench 6, we have 1127 in single core and 2664 in multi-cores. That's an actual flagship numbers on a smartphone. 7200 Ultra is a really capable chipset, and I'm happy that this phone is using this processor. One of the best features on this phone is the 120 watts hypercharging feature. On this price point, how many phones will give you almost 4 times as fast as Samsung Ultra charging? Obviously, iPhone flagship phone will be behind on this category. Not to mention that this phone also has 5000 mAh battery, and with that 4nm power efficient processor, we could expect really good battery life on this phone. I would do a separate battery test for the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. The next highlight of this phone is the IP68 water and dust resistance protection. This kind of feature alongside with the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus are usually reserved on a flagship phone, but as we all know, Redmi series of Xiaomi is the best value series that offers flagship grade features for less. And for the last highlight, this phone is designed for content consumption, and with that big AMOLED screen, I think it's pretty obvious that Xiaomi will provide us with a really good set of speakers to complement the flagship grade screen. They provided us with a dual speakers with Dolby Atmos technology, and I'm quite impressed with the sound quality of the speakers, and this is a quick sample of the audio.
Every day I'll be making money till I'm in my grave. Don't care what they say. I'll buy time with my money. Going off thoughtless, talking my shit. Yeah, I'ma be the hottest designer in drip. I'm just calling with
So I think that's it for the unboxing and a detailed review of all the highlights and features. I will start to use this phone for a full week and give you my full review of this phone. So after almost a week of reviewing the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, this is our full review. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the performance and the camera, and we're starting with the performance of this phone. Before I review this phone, I came from Google Pixel 8 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, Galaxy S23 FE, and Pixel 8 that we can safely say are all flagship phones. When I inserted my 5G SIM on this phone, I could definitely say that I didn't downgrade in terms of how the phone performs on my day-to-day activity. With smartphone apps that we're using today, even throwing the heaviest game out there, I think most of the high-end processors will be able to manage these types of apps. I think the combination of MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra and 12 gigs of RAM that can be extended, this combo can actually manage anything that you would throw on the smartphone. I played heavy games like Genshin Impact, Mobile Legends, those light gamings like Candy Crush and Subway Surfers, all of them performs really well on this phone. This phone will easily beat any flagship phones, not because it's better, but because of the value. You can actually buy 4 to 5 of this phone for a single iPhone 15 Pro Max or S24 Ultra. The camera of this phone is also spectacular. There's a little bit of shortcomings that a flagship phone will offer, but in most cases, all basic needs for a good camera performing phone are all present on this one. It is an ultra-wide lens and main sensor that provides you 2 focal lengths, and you also have a 200 megapixel sensor that can crop in for a more detailed digital crop. Completing this trio is a 2 megapixel macro that takes close focus shots. I wish it is 5 megapixel for more information, but we got 2 megapixel nonetheless. The colors are fairly neutral. The portrait shots are really good with that nice subject separation or cutout, a lot of details on the subject's face, and the night shot is equally impressive for a mid-range phone. I would do a separate camera comparison test of this phone versus other flagship phones and mid-range phones, so don't forget to subscribe. And in terms of video quality, I would give this a really good score. The 4K video recording is only reserved for the main sensor, and pretty much everything is only recording 1080p video, but in terms of video quality, it is usable and really good, and here's the sample. This is the video test of Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G using the selfie camera, 1080p 30 FPS. And although it's just 1080p 30 FPS, the stabilization is good and the image quality or the video quality as well. Now this is the video test using the rear camera, the ultra-wide sensor 0.6, 1080p at 30 FPS. Sadly, there's no 4K 30 FPS on the ultra-wide lens. Now we're switching to the main sensor. And this is the rear camera, 4K 30 FPS. So how does it work? If you click the record button on Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, the switching between the ultra-wide and the main sensor is not available. So you're stuck either the ultra-wide or the main sensor. So I've seen some of my recordings on 4K 30 FPS and I think the video quality is really good on Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. This is the 2x digital crop on video. It can shoot 4K 30 FPS. And this is the video quality. It's pretty sharp and detailed on the 2x digital crop. This is the selfie video recording, again, 1080p 30 FPS. So you would see a little bit of colors because outside it's just snow there, so it's all white. Now let's switch to the main sensor. And this is the main sensor, 4K 30 FPS. This is the video quality, the colors that you would get on Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. So I'm playing around with the video resolution and settings of the main sensor. And if you put this phone on super steady mode in video recording, it will even punch in. And it's not available in 4K, just 1080p 30 FPS. If there's one thing I love about this phone is the screen. I mean, for the price it offers, you really have a good viewing experience because of the AMOLED screen. It's really crisp, really sharp, and the blacks are pitch black. And because of the curved display, this gives the phone a premium appeal to it. Also complementing the screen is a really good audio quality or speaker quality of the phone. It's loud enough to fill the whole room, but you wouldn't hear any distortion on the maximum volume. And lastly, the battery life. This would be a solid phone for a day of use. Feel like the 4nm processor is doing a really good job of managing and maximizing the capability of the phone and at the same time being battery efficient. I would do a separate battery test of this phone, but on my initial test, playing an hour of gaming, social media, watching a full movie, and occasional texting and calling, I could reach a following day with at least 20% on it. If I need to top up or full charge the phone, the 120 watts charger can fill the phone in 30 minutes. Overall, from the sheer performance, camera, entertainment value, and battery life, these phones give so much value for a mid-range price tag. Xiaomi Redmi Note series is undoubtedly one of the best value smartphone series out there, and after 13 series, they still managed to surprise us with really good flagship killer phones. And this year, the new Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G can beat any phones. Easy.
I think I'm gonna be